One wait. Continue. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen, dear Toastmasters, good evening. I'm so happy and delighted to see all of you today. And if I didn't have a chance to meet you in person right now in January, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! I hope all your dreams, plans, and wishes come true, as my dream comes true tonight, because this formula and this meeting start with your why is something I've been thinking about for such a long time. And I think at the beginning of a new year and in the mid of the Toastmasters year, it will be good to talk about it and share our stories. And then I hope share this with members in our club, in our areas, divisions, and district, because I think when we remember about why we have joined and why we have decided to stay, why we have started, then we can share this great idea with others to inspire them to search for their very own personal why. So on our chat, I'm going to post a message, because I think the best way to share our stories and to go with the flow and with everything we would like to talk about, the best way is to have it as a table topics formula. So Marta, our wonderful timer, is going to show you some colors today. So I'm pretty sure that you already know it from each Toastmasters meeting. There is no surprise. So of course, I would like each and every one of us to say a few words. If you are okay with that, of course, you can share something on chat as well. If you don't feel comfortable with talking as we are recording, we totally understand that. And we are going to, yes, great colors, perfect. So for that, I have prepared 3 points for our agenda, and I think we can start right now. If there is anyone joining in the meanwhile, they just have to deal with that we have already started. And the very first thing I would like to discuss with all of you, I hope you can see it on our chat. The very first thing is about our personal stories and all good things that happened to us during our Toastmasters journey. And if you don't have it ready right now, I can imagine that you maybe don't, because you didn't come to this meeting with everything ready. Toastmasters is where leaders are made, not where they are ready to talk about everything. So maybe I can share my short story first, and then if you feel inspired by this and you would like to continue, we can talk about it together. So if my dear timer is ready, I will start with the very first one to show you what it's all about. So my emotional story in Toastmasters is connected with this tiny little thing I have on my head, because I've been rewarded with this by my club as Biro Toastmasters from Warsaw in June 2020. It was the tough year, I think, for all of us. And this year I've been given this nice award from the district. This is like, you know, Toastmasters of the Year. It's in like a place in my home right now that I can look at it every day just to remind myself what's important. But, you know, this has been given by district. I'm quite happy, I'm honored, I'm proud, and, you know, this is really something. But this is like, this has been given as the result of what I was doing. But this has been given by members of my club for what we've been doing together, because we've been building all DCP points and contests and fun and events together, and they saw me each week. We've been sharing each struggle, each lesson, and each experience, and receiving something like this from them, for me, is even better than this. And each Oscar that has been given to any like actor, because it's been given by people I admire, I'm inspired by, I'm challenged by as well, and given by people I have fun with. So seeing that they saw my effort and they are proud of what we have achieved together made me believe that each and every small, tiny, really, really tiny action I'm taking as a person leader and we are taking as a club has an impact and matters, and we can see the result in 1 week, 1 month, and 1 year. So from this very nice and shiny moment in my history in Toastmasters, I started believing that everything I do, it's important and has an impact. So I act as everything I do matters, because it does. This is what I believe, and this is my short emotional story from my Toastmasters Club and my Toastmasters journey. I can see a red flag. Thank you, my dear timer. So if you feel like there is something you would like to share and that has changed you through your Toastmasters journey and was, let's say, kind of milestone for you, um, we are ready to hear this, to listen to your story, and we will be more than happy if you would like to share this with us. Now it's done. If there's anyone. Or maybe you remember an important moment and for you, like an
Piotr is doing like that. You can see it.
Okay. Our division director is here. Is there anything you would like to share with us, maybe? Like, no offense. There's like, we cannot hear you. We still cannot hear you. Maybe something happened. Hello, hello.
Do you hear me now?
Yes, we can. How are you?
I'm IT, so I always have a backup, and
sure.
it's worth to have it. Okay, my story is quite short. It's only 6 years in Toastmasters, and to be honest with you, I've learned a bit from this organization. I come as a typical IT guy who's a bit afraid to talk to people, especially on stage in the public speaking area. So the first speech was a nightmare. I had to take a day off and go to relaxing massage because I was so stressed that I couldn't stand on stage. But I had a wise mentor who told me that Icebreaker is so easy project that we should add something to this one. So he advised me to observe myself, to scan my body when I will feel my knees shaking, when I will almost lose my voice. And of course, I've noticed all these symptoms. So it was not a good idea to advise me things like this, but I figured out that it helped me a lot because I'm scanning myself even nowadays, observing my reactions to different things during my life, and I learned how to deal with it on stage. I know how to deal it in projects, in business, in my private life. And this was only the first step. Then evaluation has come because I had problems when people told me good things. I always thought that they want something from me. But I also had problems to give evaluations, and then all the failures came. I lost almost all competitions, which I tried on all levels, on all possible levels, and that helped me how to deal with failures in my life. Then, of course, leadership projects appeared, and this was another dimension of the Toastmasters, because I had to cooperate with people. I'm still learning that, but with smile on my face, and copy pasting it also to my work, to my private life. Thanks.
Brilliant. Thank you very, very much. So it was like story from the very beginning of your journey. Wow, that's something. So it was about mentoring and dealing with what went wrong, and right now making copy paste to your life outside Toastmasters, if there is any life outside Toastmasters. I still don't know. I haven't checked yet if there is something to do outside Toastmasters. Brilliant. Thank you very much, Piotr, our dear division director. Do we have someone else to share the story, if you want to?
I guess Veronica.
Veronica, I can see you.
You don't see this hand, which is so my emotional story is also to the gift. This is something like that. It's I don't know if it's seen.
Yes.
This is, yes, it's the mark of Toastmasters, and here it's Toastmasters Olsztyn President. And, and this was the gift at the end of my president function. And it was in the year when I was at the first part of the year, I was vice-president of education and later president. And it is attached with really a lot of events. Even if we prepared together, it was in the middle of the pandemic where everybody panicked. We lose our members and we didn't know what to do. And we tried to think of something, experiment something. We invited many new rituals. We organized our first gala like Oscar. We organized birthday party in the fresh air with fire camp and things like that. We really try to improvise and do everything what is possible in these conditions. We start to make hybrid meetings at the beginning. We organized the storytelling festival, and it was also the first hybrid festival this type. So we made really, really a lot, and these little things. This is the final, maybe not final, because I still have other functions, but this was the gift we represent this year. Yes, which was really specific, really special. I learned really a lot, and I also have this feeling that I'm not alone in this all mess which was in this year.
Thank you for what you shared, and the thing that you said that you are not alone. I think it's quite important in this crazy, tricky period of time we are still facing. So that's great. Somehow I can feel that you feel more connected after all these things you've been through with your club and your community. And I think leadership is nice when we have like peace around, people happy, and everything is on time. And then when something is not going as we want it to be, then the adventure starts, and we have to deal with that somehow. And I think these moments like give us somehow more like emotions, good emotions or bad emotions. I don't want to say that, but I think if in these times of struggle, hardship, and we can call it as we want, we can remain attached to our why. I mean, why we want to continue, why we have even started. Maybe it's a little bit easier because somehow I realized after these 2 years of going online, offline, hybrid, and like traveling, not knowing, that if we know why we want to stay and why we want to do that, and we are not focused on what's going on today, but we are trying to build together what's going to happen in next month, in next 3 months with our team and with our contribution. It's able to change, and in this way we can change a lot, not only for our club but for ourselves as well. So thank you very much to both of you. And maybe Monica and Yuri, you would like to share something with us if you are ready. If there's anything you would like to add to this.
I'm sort of ready, but if Monica would like, ladies first.
Okay, I don't mind going first.
Brilliant.
Hey, I'll just switch on my camera for a second. So to me, Toastmasters itself, it's a journey on its own, because I was looking at the organization for a few years when I lived in Krakow, and I never joined any club. And then suddenly, in the middle of 2020, I moved to the wonderful city of Łódź. And just please don't laugh, I'm serious about it. This is the best city in Poland. Absolutely the best city in Poland. Never regretted the moving here. And after, I think, 3 months, I joined my current club. And I have to tell you, it has a personal connection as well, because I was new to the city, and one of the best places to meet people, interesting, inspirational, supportive people, it is the Toastmasters Club. You can go to a bar and you will meet random people, but you can go to a Toastmaster Club, but you will meet a different kind of random people. And when in your life you want to constantly grow, develop, and expand your contacts, your way of thinking, that's the best place. And I didn't have the best year last year, 2021. And to be perfectly honest, my club and the activity in Toastmasters kept me on the surface for a second, kept me sane. And it was a really amazing experience. In the middle of a kind of personal crisis, I went on one of the biggest events, the conference in Gdańsk, and I just gave my first toast in life. And it was, I personally think it was a huge success, and I got the similar opinions, and I was like, okay, I'm really down, but those people are ready to, without even realizing it, lift me up. So it's very personal, very inspiring, and always thanks. Thank you very much.
Monica, just one remark. I was not laughing, I was smiling, because I studied in Łódź, so it's one of my beloved cities.
Yes. Sorry. It's good to confront the stories we have in our heads. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Monica, for what you said. We are so lucky that Warsaw is so close to Łódź, so we can absorb the good energy from Łódź and be better people. Finally, we've been waiting for a source of good energy. So I'm happy that you feel connected not only to the city but to the club as well. And I really feel better right now after listening to your story, because I know that in Toastmasters we are not only improving our public speaking and leadership skills, but we are improving ourselves as human beings, and we are building connections with others. And I think these meetings in once per week or twice per month, it's they able to keep us sane, as you said, that we know that there is something to look for and to join and to be there with people we like, or at least we have chosen. It's not like with the family, your family, you somehow cannot choose your family, but you can choose your Toastmasters family and your friends. So this is really great. Thank you very much once again. Any other person there happy to share a story? I'm not pointing at anyone, but
with the pleasure.
Wonderful.
So if you want to hear my emotional story, it's going to be quite a short one. But me here Well, several years ago, I came to Poland, and especially at the beginning, I was an introverted stranger in a strange country for me. When I attended my first Toastmasters meeting, I thought that there was nothing else in it for me except practicing English. So at least there was one thing that I was interested in, and I decided that I'm gonna go with it at least for a few more times, and I'll check how it goes. It turned out that I found much more than just a place to practice English. I found a really great environment. I found not just friends, but I found the family. A real family here, because these people that I know, they're the closest here for me emotionally. Because my family, they are back in Ukraine, and the only way that I can communicate with them is with the help of some technologies. Luckily, we have a bunch of them. But these people around me, they give me a lot. In some way, they also complete me. And another thing that I found here is that I fell in love with the leadership path. It wasn't something that I was looking for, but it turns out that it is something that I like. I might even love it. And I'm not even sure when and where I'm gonna be if I follow this path, but at least I'm taking it. It helps me to change my life and to change it for something better. That's why I'm very, very, very excited to see what's gonna be later.
What a story. What a story. So Toastmasters is not only crossing like the physical borders, but it's crossing all borders we have within ourselves. So fingers crossed for your leadership path. And as we have tonight our division director, dear division director, maybe we have like the forthcoming leader for our district, you know, everything is recorded. So think about that, why not? So thank you for your story and showing us that club without people is just a logo and just a sign. And if we want to build something, we need people, first of all, and not only some roles. And that leadership is fun as well, because for me at the very beginning, leadership was like time management, people management, my own anxiety management and stuff like that. And then suddenly I can listen to stories like this and remind myself that, oh, you know, leadership is not that hard. It's like the way you think about it and talk about it with others. So I am grateful for all your stories, because somehow I realized that it's not only about public speaking and leadership skills, it's about connection with others. And if we feel that we are part of something bigger, then we can simply continue. And I hope that by listening to each other tonight and telling your own story, you saw like this light and that maybe in moments when we are a little bit discouraged and we are not sure if we want to continue, we will remain strong and ready for new challenges with our Toastmasters family, chosen wisely, because we can do that. And the very second thing I would like to talk with you about, if you are ready, because we are talking about connection we have with people and how we are going through less fortunate moments for our, let's say, society. But is there anything you took from Toastmasters, from your club, from the community, and it's affecting the so-called daily life outside Toastmasters? Do you recognize any value? Do you recognize any impact? Because I think, like, for me personally, it's important to know why we have joined and why we have stayed in Toastmasters, but can we see anything outside Toastmasters that we took from the organization and somehow it has changed our life? if I'm going to start once again. And because of Toastmasters, I was able to change my job, in times of pandemic, crazy, online, everything. And it's not because I know someone in Toastmasters who is giving me that job, no, it's not that easy. I wish it was in this way, but I have joined interview, online, and because I've been preparing myself for almost 1 year, with all these online meetings and managing camera, Zoom, even gestures, I was able to give a good interview and be aware of what I know, who I am, what are my limits, and I was able to ask for what I wanted. So I'm pretty sure that before even pandemic or being me in Toastmasters, I was somehow apologizing for my existence, everywhere, anywhere, in any possible condition. And then I joined this interview and I realized, okay, this is place I want to be. This is the job I want to do. So if you like me, people from HR, you can just offer me something and we can build something together. And I wasn't I was able to be honest with them and to say even one joke. It was something big for me to tell any joke online in front of people. So this was the biggest change. And of course, I found few great friends. And I think the best parties I've ever had, it was with Toastmasters. So I'm quite happy with that because I'm introverted person sitting all the time in in the library and not living the so-called comfort zone, whatever it means, comfort zone. So for this, I'm grateful, and I see it as a positive side effect of me being in Toastmasters, because in this job I feel way better. I'm seen as a person, not as a machine, because I learned what does it mean to talk to people and to speak out loud about what I need and what I think, and about the values I want to share in the organization I work for. Yes, that's from me. And if there's anything you would like to share about that, about the so-called daily life outside Toastmasters, and if you can see any effect and impact. Veronica.
You still don't see virtual hands. Piotr is doing like that.
Virtual hands. I'm not checking. Oh, sorry. Is there a virtual hand?
So I can talk after him. He was fast.
Okay.
Go, Veronica. Okay, thank you. I can share two most important things for me with you. The first one, do you know what's the most important leadership skill? There are plenty of them, but only one, the most important.
Most important?
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's apologizing.
Okay. Anybody else?
Listening.
Exactly. And I was always so talkative. When I entered a group, maybe because it's about my voice, I don't know, maybe about my posture, I don't know, but I had tendency to dominate a group, which was in a short term, it was quite good and it was attractive for me, but in the long term, unfortunately, it brings some cost. So right now, I've learned how to listen to people, not always to talk and talk, but to listen actively and with understanding, with a high level of empathy. And this is what I've learned from this leadership path that Yuri have mentioned. The second thing is that I found a great friend in the organization. And this friend is Piotr Rudzki, because I met the guy and he was pretty annoying at the very beginning. But once I used all these scanning skills learned from my mentors, it turns out that's quite nice guy. I like him, and he's always next to me all the time. So it's the best companion I can ever have in my life. So these two things are the most important for me right now.
Oh, wow. I'm really touched by what you say. And I think, yes, finding ourselves and again and meeting ourselves again, it's such a wonderful moment. And I think the beginning of such a great adventure for the whole life. That sounds, thanks God it's recorded. Like when we are going to have like dark moments in my club or my area, I'm going to open it to remind,
Anna, but all these dark moments are very important because especially for the second point, once you reach all these crisis moments in your life, you will find out that you are the only person who can really count on in this crisis moments. So these
true.
are also important moments.
That's true, and the answer is within me. It's not outside for this dark moment. Thank you once again. And as we said, Veronica, are you ready?
Always.
Oh, wonderful.
So what I find out, the first things which I found out, it was that I have something to say. And it was quite surprising for me at the beginning because I wasn't realized that I have so many subjects which I can share. Yes, so many themes, so many really interesting things which are interesting by anybody else than me. So this was my first surprise, and to continue it, I learned to talk good about myself. I learned to talk about my achievements, what I do good, what I learned, what I'm able to do, and things like that. And this part, how we can say it, I changed it into the money. So I asked my chef for promotion and I was promoted. So this is really, really good part of Toastmaster, which I did. And the second thing is also a little bit connected. This is how to tell it, to be brave to try new things. And it's also a little bit connected. I asked for the position, which is quite new. Nobody know it. And right now I'm fighting with so many different and strange things that I can't candidate. But it's really, I'm growing every day. Yes, and every day I find new things, and every day I discover something about my work, about me, about the people which I work, and this is amazing, really, really amazing. Sometimes I'm really tired, but at the end of the day, I really think it was a good decision. And I also think that Toastmasters had something about it. Thank you.
I feel somehow that you have described my life. So if, I don't know if there's any camera of my area director at my home, like microphone, that you know exactly what I'm going through right now. So maybe the fact that we are in the same area, it's not a coincidence, you know. So I'm happy that your life is full of great adventures and so successful because of that. What a great story. Thank you for that. And maybe our dear timer would like to say a few words if you are there. And is there anything you would like to share? I just forgot that, you know, you are here. I'm sorry.
Yes, of course, I can add something to that. I measure my time. I gained so much. I don't know what to start off, but very often I forget about basic things, but which are not so obvious because without gaining common skills, like you can imagine, public speaking, leadership, some hidden, discovering some hidden talents, features. What I gained was I learned how to have fun. When I joined Toastmasters, I was unable to have fun. After our meetings, we had always after parties, and I was sitting like stiff, I didn't talk to anybody, and I really was so, it was impossible to relax and to open. And that changed very, very fast. So soon I started to even participate in conferences, in district conferences. I was even traveling there sometimes alone to different countries. And before I didn't travel at all outside Poland. So it was a big step for me. So I became much more brave, open, and yeah, now I really enjoy my life, I can say. And I think it's thanks to Toastmasters. Of course, when it comes to my work, I become also more confident. I show what I do, how good I am, what I'm doing currently. So before I was hiding that, so nobody know that I am a good employee. Now I'm changed, I am appreciated. So I got so much value, and I can just say that I am a happy person, and yeah, I enjoy my life, and my life just has more quality.
Oh, that's brilliant. You're a happy person. I'm the happiest person to hear that. Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. So many things happened. Oh, wow. So it's really, it's worth to join, but it's worth to stay in Toastmasters, right? Because with time, we are able to do more things. Even if we are scared, we can do while being scared. And somehow it's good to be. So I'm really happy that I'm part of the same organization as like you are, because being a part of the same organization, somehow I can share the journey you are like enjoying. No, I'm so happy to hear that. Yeah. Toastmasters is such a great place. I have to like share this with my friends, you know. Come to Toastmasters, we have like so many good things here. Indeed, indeed. And if Monica or Yuri, you would like to add something to that? We still have time.
Yeah, I'm good to go. When I hear your stories, the first thing, when I heard the stories, the first thing was like, I come from the exact opposite of the spectrum. I was used to be a total center of attention and a total star, and Toastmasters humbled me a bit. I saw all these people with very high standards, with amazing skills, and always pushing and being so open to receiving feedback. And I think that's one of the most important things, giving and receiving feedback. I always struggle to give the kind of quality feedback I'm giving now, and I'm using it both at work and when, for example, my friends asked me to, I don't know, check out their videos because they are doing online yoga sessions, and as I saw so many recordings, and I'm used to giving evaluations every week, it comes naturally. It's very useful at work. And it showed me that there are so many areas to explore. That's one thing. And the second thing, it opened me to the institution of mentoring. I was never used to be mentored or be a mentee in a very direct way. I'll tell you more. When I started in Toastmasters, if it wasn't for my VPE who suggested me, maybe you should consider having a mentor, I would never think about it myself, because I was used to being a self-made person. Everything I had to do was always on my own, of course, consulting and asking people for advice, but not in such a guided and organized way. So that's one amazing thing, the feedback and the mentoring. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that with us. And I think your story is for me a perfect example about the, I think, most important things I find right now in Toastmasters, mentoring and giving feedback. And on these two fields, let's say, I want to grow as a person as well. So thank you for reminding me why I'm here and what I should do later, and for showing us that Toastmasters is a good place for everyone, no matter if we are introverted, extroverted, if we have energy, or if we are scared to talk to people at parties after the meeting. So thank you for reminding me why we are doing all these things together, of course, and what we can do outside Toastmasters. And if Yuri, you would like to add something or share something maybe about that?
I'd love to. Of course, it's very, 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 very challenging to cover all the aspects just in 2 minutes, but I'll just mention some. As you mentioned at the very beginning, that for us, it's hard to find a difference between life inside Toastmasters and outside of Toastmasters. Once you're a Toastmaster, you're a Toastmaster forever. Of course, we can learn different, so to say, technical skills, like how to use our body, voice, and etc. But there's also so many things, arguably even more than technical skills, that we learn as a side effect. Side effect also been mentioned, and I really like it. I use it in our club too. These things might be even more important in our life, because when they combine all together, they make us more confident in ourselves. We might become more empathic as people, as human beings. But we can find the love in Toastmasters. There are more than there are more than just single stories about people who found a partner in these clubs, but of course this is not the main goal.
No.
No.
Good. I know.
But again, there's so much more. We can use it for a better job, but I think it comes mostly from becoming more confident people. It just changes us. On my example, I know that I became more open towards people. As a better communicator, just as a better and more interested person to talk to. And note, this is not bragging. This is something that I find that I'm excited about, is also talking with other people, but also becoming a mentor and the ability to pass one's knowledge and experience to others, and feeling that it actually works with others is a great prize itself. Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed, being a mentor is really something, especially when you are asked to be a mentor, right? When sometimes like someone is approaching and saying, "No, I need a mentor, and I see something in you. Maybe you can help me a little bit." And you mentioned something like you are excited about talking to people. I'm still working on that, So even if I feel good in my role as VP in my club, like talking to people, generally speaking, is something I'm working on. So if you said that it's possible in Toastmasters that at some point I'm going to be excited about that, that's good. Thanks for that. I'm more than happy to see that in the future.
Your next team member can be your partner.
So like, should I ask half of the okay, anyway. No. It's recorded. No way. Anyway, thank you very much for your set. in case it's true, I will let you know. Okay. And the very last thing, because we are running out of time, I'm afraid, if I can ask you to give us, after what has been said and shared, and I'm grateful for all of that, because somehow I feel we are here like 6 cities from Poland right now, if I'm not wrong, or at least 5. And somehow I realized that we are able to build connection in this way. So by sharing these stories and emotional stories from our Toastmasters journey, we are able to connect with each other, even only via the eye of your camera. So if for the summary of our meeting, you can share with us one idea that we can have why it's important to find your why. Not only why it's important to join Toastmasters and give it a chance, but why it's good to stay for a while and try new things and keep your why alive, if there is one thing. Why it's good to have your why in Toastmasters. If there is anyone who would like to start.
If I may. Why is even out at the very beginning? Why to find a different one depending on your goals, or depending on the stage of your development that you are right now, because most people in the young listeners, they have just a very, very, very slight opinion about what they can learn there, what they can get out of this, of this experience. And that's why it's important to think about some goals, and goals usually are answers to our whys. They allow us to stay for a longer time and witness a situation and they were just attending, not probably even taking some roles, but they were attending, they were listening to speakers. They're saying, hey, it's good, I'd like to become a better speaker in the future too, but they were not taking any courageous steps towards learning or becoming better speakers. Mm-hmm. That's probably because they're not very clear to themselves about their goal whys. So, but setting or giving an answer to the question why is important for the long term. It's like having enough fuel to reach your final destination. Thank you.
Thank you. To reach the final destination, I have to remember that.
And I think that it was very important, Yuri, what you have said, because Anna mentioned at the very beginning that we are growing in this organization, and on the higher levels, we have so many open doors we can go into, so many possibilities, but unfortunately there is always a cost. And this cost for the very beginning is time, for example. So once you are very advanced, you are participating in advanced projects, it requires your enthusiasm and commitment and your time, of course. So if you don't have your why found already, there is a great chance that you will lose your optimism and your engagement, your commitment, and that you will fail because it might be so intensive, so engaging that without being highly convinced that this is you, what you are doing right now, you might simply stop. So I think that's why it is important to have your own why. Mm-hmm. Maybe not from the very beginning, but I wish you all to find it on the path. It helps a lot.
Thank you for your kind wishes. We will do our best to find the answer. Thank you. Is there anyone who would like to share something about why it's close to Helger? Why?
I can go next, maybe.
Sure.
Why is a question about motivations. I really like to dig deep, and I'm kind of investigator in my life. So if I meet you as a person and something catches my attention, I will make infinite number of questions because I want to know why. I want to get to the bottom of things. And that's why we need to get to the bottom of what we want so that it can lead us on a path. For example, let's say my goal in Toastmasters is one of my goals, I'm gonna reveal a little bit. I don't know if I want to go public with that because this will be kind of commitment. And I'm not sure I'm ready for this commitment yet. But I've been thinking about doing stand-up comedy for a while. And one of the ways I am preparing myself is through Toastmasters. So this is my why. Where I want to go, what's my immediate or long-term goal, and my not external, my internal motivation, because external motivation works to some extent. I only truly believe in the internal one, because that's what gives you drive, what gives you energy. And if you're convinced and committed to what you want to do, you will not give up because you actually enjoy it. So it's crucial to know your why and to make the question why as many times as necessary to get to the bottom of things. Thanks.
Thank you. To get to the bottom of all things, challenge accepted. I'm going to start like immediately after the meeting to find the real why I have for staying in Toastmasters. As we still have a moment, if you, Veronica or Marta, our dear timer, you would like to add something, we still have a moment, and we will be more than happy to hear from you as well.
I think that it's difficult to add something more because we already told a lot of things. Yes, that the why, the reason why we're doing it, and without why, internal why, it's difficult to keep doing something for a long time. Yes? Because we have to force each other. So maybe how my club helped me to find my why. I think it's still, I didn't finish this process. I think this is also something which take a long time. Maybe sometimes all our lives. And it's also good that the why can change. It don't have to be stable. That yes, and it's really worth to try to experiment and to try and feel if it's okay or not. And Toastmasters is the place when I can do this.
Brilliant, thank you. You reminded me something quite important for me, that finding my why, it's more like enjoying the journey than reaching the destination. So you can check and you can change, you can search for more, for new, talk with people about that. And it's not like one and only why, it can be explored as well. And dear timer, do you want to add something? Maybe?
As a small addition, so it's true also for me that the whys changed during the time. but it is good to have why or changed why or a next why whenever you start something new, some new area to discover, some new task. And I have an example why it's helpful. I wanted to be a club president once, and I found why I needed 4 because I thought about my own business to start. So I thought, okay, when I will be a president, then I will learn some skills needed later. And I had some tough moments at this function, because when I led the meetings for the board, I knew, wow, I am so bad. I cannot lead the discussion into the right direction. We don't make any deadlines, any conclusions. I felt really bad sometimes after the meetings, but I thought always, okay, it's bad, but I want to learn something. I do it for some purpose. And I knew that when I go through it, I will be stronger. I will I will learn new things, and then time just will pass by, but I will gain something out of it. So that's why I think that it's very crucial to know why you are doing things.
That's wonderful. So thank you for reminding us that despite the less fortunate moments, if we keep our why in the mind, we will go through everything in front of us. What a great story. And
there is one more Anna, very important element which I've remembered right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering if I should tell you or not. But it's very important.
To stop recording to share this.
because it's very important in environments where there are lots of leaders. Sometimes I'm joking that Toastmasters is an environment where there are more leaders in cubic meter than oxygen molecules, and maybe that's why it might be important. Once you found your own why, you are immune to other leaders, because sometimes we are in the area of the power of another persons, that we think that we do something which is ourselves, but it is not. And if you are planning your leadership path, it's very important to always be very convinced that you are doing your own path, not somebody else's path. Why? Because if you finish the first one, you will be successful, you will be grateful, you will be you will have joy in your life. You will have real value. If you will pass the second one, at the end you might be pretty surprised that it's not your own, and it brings nothing to your life, and the time was only wasted. I'm talking you about right now because it's good to know at the very beginning, and it's important. So always find your own why and follow your own path in leadership environments.
Thank you. And I do not dare to comment it or say anything more. And the only thing I can say after everything we shared, discussed, and that I'm proud to be a part of an organization where leaders are made, and I'm proud and grateful and honored that I'm sharing this journey with all of you. So thank you for your inspiration, your time, your stories, being open to others, and thank you from the bottom of my heart from everything you said. I feel way better right now. So if you would like to stay for the second part in Polish, you are more than welcome. And for now, I would like to ask our timer to stop recording.